The year was 2009 in a wintry South Africa, and the US barely making it to the next round of the Confederations Cup. They go and somehow manage to beat the best team in the world at the time, Spain, 2-0, ending their 35-game unbeaten streak.
Who remembers this? Guys, the Confederations Cup, a tournament that we no longer have. And why don't we have it? I guess because the new Club World Cup, which I don't know how that makes sense that a club tournament is replacing a international tournament that's being played right before the World Cup, but this also cup is being played every 4 years. It doesn't quite make sense to me, honestly. I don't know what's being replaced. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button if you love the US men's national team and world football. And don't forget to subscribe for the same reasons, okay?
And in these strange times with our US men's national team, let's go ahead and look at something positive from our US men's national team vault. So the FIFA Confederations Cup. It actually was a tournament that first began as some tournament for Saudi Arabia to host and play some of the best teams from each confederation. But it quickly did evolve to a fully sanctioned FIFA tournament that was played before the World Cup as kind of I would say like a soft opening or dress rehearsal for the World Cup. It was normally hosted in the country that would be hosting the next World Cup, except for when it was hosted in Mexico in 1999 for some reason, as well as France 2003, once again for some reason. But like I said, this competition has been scrapped for the Club World Cup, which once again does not make sense at all. The last time we actually had this one was the 2017 edition in Russia, but the edition we are focusing on today is the 2009 edition hosted in South Africa. South Africa was actually awarded the right to host the FIFA World Cup in 2010, becoming the first African nation to host football's biggest tournament. And because of this, they would host the 2009 Confederations Cup. The host, South Africa, were actually drawn into a group with Spain, the European champions, Iraq, the Asian champions, and New Zealand, the OFC champions. And the other group was the South American champions, Brazil, the last winners of the World Cup, Italy, the African champs, Egypt, really strong Egypt side, by the way, and the US men's national team, who actually qualified after beating Mexico in the 2007 Gold Cup final with an absolute banger from Benny Feilhaber in Chicago. And man, that goal still brings back memories, and that game as well. The US actually did bring all of the big guns, at least the ones we had at the time, like Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, and a pretty young Michael Bradley, who was playing very well at the time. They were honestly ready to take this tournament by storm. And in their first game, they were thumped by Italy, the defending World Cup champions. 2 goals by New Jersey-born Giuseppe Rossi. Yeah, that one hurt big time. That was not fun at all. By the way, shout out to Giuseppe Rossi, who's... we're so mad, by the way, so just know that, Giuseppe. I remember thinking to myself, like, after this game, damn, why couldn't we have been drawn to Spain's group with South Africa and Iraq? I feel like we would have fared better in that group. Why in this one with Brazil, Italy, the defending champs, like I said, and the African champs, Egypt? I mean, that was tough. That was a tough group to get drawn into. Because looking at this squad, we definitely did not have what it took to go toe-to-toe with Brazil and Italy. Unfortunately, we just did not. I mean, we could bunker and fight and maybe get a goal off a counterattack or a set piece. But me being a young, hopeful, optimistic US men's national team fan, I thought to myself, we're Americans. We're not afraid of anyone. Let's go and freaking beat Brazil. And what happened? 3-0 Brazil. Burying us 0 points out of 2 games and being absolutely dominated by not the strongest Brazil side ever. It all seemed lost. But me being the optimistic US men's national team fan that I am, I wondered, what if we could do it? I mean, why not? Egypt has just beaten Italy, leaving them with only 3 points. If we could beat the heck out of Egypt, who had just gone toe-to-toe with Brazil, and beat Italy 1-0, we could maybe win and hope Brazil does their job and maybe, just maybe, squeeze through to the next round. Well, this time my optimism paid off big time. The United States with a convincing 3-0 win, and Brazil spanking Italy 3-0 gave the Americans the pass onto the semifinals where they'd face Spain, who looked so dominant for the last couple of years, and now most people gave us such little hope against that powerful Spain side, just like they gave us so little hope against a strong Egypt side. But everything ended up working out. So how much hope did people really have against us, or for us, against a powerful Spain? And I remember thinking, we could do this. No way all of that happened in the previous round, in the last game, just for us to get demolished by Spain in this game. There was no way that was going to happen. I was being really optimistic, just like I was in the rest of the tournament, even when all the odds were stacked against us. I really thought we could do this. It was stacked against us. No one believed in us. Just look at this lineup versus a prime Spain. And I remember Albert Riera being in some insane form around that time. You guys might not remember him, but I remember him. And then obviously with legends of the game, such as like Puyol, Xabi Alonso, and Sergio Ramos there, well, the odds were very much stacked against us. Like, look, I don't mean to hate, because I do respect these players a lot. I really do. But look at our lineup versus Spain. Guys like Ricardo Clark from the Houston Dynamo. How many of you guys remember Ricardo Clark? No offense, like I said, I respect him very much. And then Jada Merritt from Watford, who was a club that was still in the championship. This is not the Watford that we see yo-yoing between Premier League now and championship. This was a team that was stapled to the championship at the time. They had not been in the Premier League for like 5 or 6 years by that point. Now, I could definitely see why nobody thought we could pull this off. It was really looking tough for the US. But Spain was all over us with their fancy tiki-taka like expected, creating several dangerous opportunities, with Timmy Howard having to bail us out again and again and again. But in the 25th minute, Josie Altidore, using his strong-ass body, shrugs off Joan Capdevila like a child and shoots and beats Iker Casillas, Iker Casillas, who was by far the best goalkeeper in the world at the time, making it 1-0 for the United States. But we had seen this before. We took that 1-0 lead against Italy in the first game, ended up losing 3-1. But I was even more optimistic and knew that we could hold on to the lead. And it was something that our boys, with their fighting spirit, could definitely do. And after absorbing all that pressure from Spain, what happens? After a great steal from Michael Bradley, he gets it to Benny Feilhaber, who finds Donovan and crosses it, only to have it deflected. And then Clint Dempsey is there to get to it before Sergio Ramos and scores the second goal for the US. And I'm like, holy shit, is this really freaking happening? And then the final whistle blows, and we beat Spain 2-0 against all odds, ending their 35-game unbeaten streak. Guys, and this was huge. This was absolutely massive for US soccer at the time. For all of us loyal fans that have been there for years, supporting this team through ups and downs, this was amazing. Beating the best team in the world in an official FIFA tournament. Who would have expected that? That was honestly absolute insanity. And now we were advancing to play Brazil in a FIFA-sanctioned final. Wow, man. That was truly huge at the time. Those of you who weren't there to see that, I'm sorry for you guys. You guys have no idea how huge that was at the time. It was massive, man. Massive. And after that, we had the final against Brazil. Now, we were basically overachieving here, and we did get our butts handed to us by Brazil earlier in the tournament. But why couldn't we dream big, honestly? Why not? I thought maybe we could do it. I'm sure the players thought they could do it. Several people thought they could do it. And imagine something just special happening here. I could feel it. I could feel it coming. And in the final, we first take the lead off a Clint Dempsey volley, making it 1-0 against Brazil. In the final, against Brazil, guys. And I really could not believe how things were going. And I really wondered, could this happen for us? Could this really happen for us where we beat Brazil in the final? And after some good chances from both teams,
suddenly one of the best counterattacks I've ever seen in my life happened. And Landon Donovan, with a Messi-esque touch, he beats a defender and beats Julio Cesar. Guys, this was absolutely insane. I was honestly in complete disbelief from what I was seeing. I could not believe what I was witnessing. I mean, this was going to be bigger than finishing third in the 1930 World Cup. This was going to be bigger than beating Mexico in the 2002 World Cup. I mean, this was going to be just freaking massive, man. Was this really going to happen for us? Well, early in the first minute of the second half, Luis Fabiano, with a wonderful first touch, turns around and buries the ball in the back of the net and brings Brazil back into the game, just one goal away. At this moment, I'm sure all of us fans were super nervous, just super nervous, waiting for this game to finish. But this was honestly a disastrous start to the second half. But we were still up, and we could still hold on to the lead. And our boys were playing so hard, man, holding on to the lead for dear lives, doing everything in their power to prevent Brazil from equalizing. And in the 74th minute, this BS happens. I could not believe it. Brazil came back and tied it. And suddenly, something we had in our hands was disappearing just like that. And, I mean, we were still tied. It was 2-2, but it definitely felt like we were losing the game after being up 2-0. And at this point in the game, I mean, I'm sure everyone that was either part of the U.S. men's national team or part of just the fan base, we just wanted the game to end. And we wanted it to go to extra time and possibly penalties, because we could have really used and inspired Tim Howard in a penalty shootout. But then, oh my gosh. Then, off a corner, Lucio scores the third and wins it for Brazil. Crushing U.S. men's national team's heart, crushing the hearts of young me. Absolutely heartbreaking, honestly. I mean, gosh, man, we had it. It was right there. It was right there. And it would have been so big for U.S. soccer, man. I mean, like, I showed you guys the lineup. Like, you know, we didn't have the type of talent we have now. It would have been so huge, man. And I think definitely the turning point in that game was that second half early goal, man. I mean, imagine if that wouldn't have gone in. Brazil would have maybe got desperate. We could have hit him on the counter again like Donovan did. We could have gotten a third goal possibly. Even if they got two more, it would be 3-2. It would be 3-2 for us. But, I mean, all of that is just speculation at this point. I mean, who knows? Who knows what would have happened? I mean, who knows what could have happened in the game? I mean, we could have won it. Brazil could have won it. I don't know. You know, different timelines, right? But honestly, I'm very proud of our team. I mean, they overcame so many obstacles. They definitely overachieved. It was just wonderful. It was wonderful. And we were honestly one half away from winning the whole thing. And that is just absolutely amazing to me. And like I said, we almost had it, guys. Almost did. I mean, almost there. And guys, it was really fun reliving this. I mean, I had a lot of fun making this because I really, really loved looking back at this tournament. It was a whole lot of fun. And guys, thanks for watching. And hopefully in the 2026, I mean, hopefully our guys could do something huge that'll make us just as happy as we were, as I was, before the start of that second half. But anyways, guys, don't forget to freaking like this video. Like the heck out of it if you love soccer and love world football. Also subscribe, don't forget that. And y'all have a good one.